Thanks for your interest in Simply Successful Kids. This parent introduction is designed for those who are unable to make it to one of our live parent information sessions. Hi, I'm Deb Timmerman. I'm a registered nurse, healing touch practitioner, and stress education expert. I am the co-creator of Simply Successful Kids.
Hi, my name is Beth Tuttle. I'm an EFT practitioner, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, basically acupuncture without the needles, and I'm the other creator of Simply Successful Kids.
You can read more about our bios and our journeys into healing practices on our website at simplysuccessfulprogram.com. So, why do Beth and I work with kids? In our private practices, our work started with adult clients. Time and again, they brought up childhood stressors, memories, and traumas that were still causing emotional and physical distress. So through our training and education, we found that stress is the leading cause of health and behavioral issues. Yes, there's genetic and congenital kinds of issues with kids that cause diseases and illness, but stress is the number one reason we see our primary care providers. We also started following the work of childhood trauma experts, Dr. Robert Anda and Dr. Vince Folletti, who conducted the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study. Their work supported our findings. We post a lot of Anda and Folletti's work and findings on our Facebook page at Simply Successful Kids if you'd like to follow that.
Here's proof there is a problem. The suicide rate for kids ages 10 to 14 has doubled from 2010 to 2014. Teaching kids how to deal with stress, emotions, and life's disappointments is critical.
So what we believe is healthy children grow up to be healthy adults. So what do kids have to be stressed about today? Family issues, pressure to be the best, homework, school pressures to perform, lack of coping skills, early childhood traumas. You could probably think of many other things to add to this list, probably that are reported by your child or that are happening right in your very own family. So how does the stress response develop? Basically, we get half of our DNA from mom, half from dad, and at the moment of conception, whatever genetic imprint is there regarding stress in mom and dad gets passed on to the baby. From age 0 to 3, we develop our brain or neural pathways based on the experiences we have or the traumas we have. And what results is that certain areas of our brain either get developed or they have impaired development.
When the stress response happens, everyone reacts differently. So we have a fighter, a flighter, or a freezer. Maybe when your child is stressed out, he or she gets really angry. Maybe wants to punch something, throws temper tantrums, or gets really angry. The flighter might run to the room and hide. The freezer is exactly like it sounds. They just are frozen, withdrawn.
They basically shut down. So how does stress show up in young people? Physically, they end up with headaches, stomach aches, or other ailments. They sometimes have a problem focusing or solving problems.
Taking tests or homework, we all know how much is put on kids nowadays in school. And when we work in the school system, that's what we find their biggest stressor is taking the tests and how much homework they have at night.
Some kids have a hard time making friends. Some feel bullies or they lash out and bully others. They struggle with new routines or subject matter. They worry a lot. They're afraid a lot. And when those physical feelings and symptoms aren't managed, a lot of times it leads to depression, substance abuse, and suicidal thoughts.
So the good news is the brain can create new pathways that make it resilient to stress. So neurons that wire together, fire together. So what does that mean? For us adults, think about when you get in your car to drive to work. You don't have to think about putting the car in the ignition and how much pressure you're going to put on the gas pedal and each turn you're going to make to work. We just do it without thinking about it because those neurons have wired together because you've done it so many times. So when it comes to stress, if your child stresses about math and every time they're presented with homework for math or a test and they panic, they are creating that wiring together of those neurons. And that is why we've created the Simply Successful Kids program, because we teach them tools that help them create new pathways.
So Beth, what you're basically saying is that those habits that we develop actually form patterns in our brain, and that our exercises or the things that we teach help break those patterns and form new ones?
Exactly.
So let's look at how the tools of Simply Successful Kids create new pathways. First off, we teach kids to recognize what stress feels like in their body. When they know it and feel it, they can choose tools that help them stop that response. What results is that their anxiety decreases, they're able to think more clearly, they're able to focus and make better choices. So the tools that create new neural pathways actually build resilience. We begin by teaching kids how different systems in the body work together. Here's an example. We cover all the body systems, but we spend a lot of time on teaching them how their nervous system works. It contains the brain, we call it the big computer, our spinal cord and nerves, and we talk to them about how nerve endings work to send information from our cells in our fingers to our brain, and how those pathways then tell us to move our hand off the hot stove. We also spend a considerable time on the endocrine system. That's the system that has the glands that make stress hormones. So there's lots of different hormones that regulate all our body functions, but particularly the two stress hormones that we teach them about are called adrenaline and cortisol. As adults, you've probably heard of them. We also teach the kids about a body system that they may not be familiar with, and that's the body's energy system.
So the body's energy system interacts with the brain, and it is the key to optimal mind and body communication. Your energy system is working with every organ, muscle, and tissue in your body. So what is the energy system? The energy system works like a battery for our body. It charges us so our body can work easier. Every muscle you move, every thought you think, every morsel of food you digest involves electrical activity and communication of information. We describe the energy system to kids like a superhighway that runs through their body. Picture your veins that carry blood to every part of your body. The energy system is like a superhighway carrying energy to every part of your body. And meridians have actually been confirmed now by CT imaging at Seoul University. What they did was they injected dye into an acupuncture point to see what would happen. And the dye actually followed a pathway. They took that dye then and injected it into a point that was not an acupuncture point, and the dye just dispersed. It did not follow a pathway. So now it has been confirmed. And in Western medicine, they call it the premovascular system. So your meridians are used in acupuncture and acupressure, and we'll use meridian points in some of the stress-stopping exercises in our program.
So there are also main stops along the highway, 7 of them that act as battery charging stations. Those are called chakras. They're just big wheels of energy. So we teach them that the energy system is important because when your energy isn't flowing properly, it's like a traffic jam at these energy intersections on the highway. And when we're stressed, everything gets backed up, and that's what causes us to lash out and act up. So now let's take a look at what we teach them about stress.
Stress causes the endocrine system to make too much of some of the chemicals that are designed to help us. And for the kids, we call those stress chemicals chemical soup.
We also teach the kids what the cycle of the stress response is. So when stress happens, adrenaline and cortisol start, the thing that we call chemical soup. Then it jams the energy pathways, and we end up having a physical reaction. That makes us fight, flight, or freeze. Once kids understand what's happening in their body, they can choose the appropriate tools to stop it, and it gives them a sense of control. The way we teach them to create new neural pathways is by using science-backed modalities like Eden's energy exercises, qigong, simple meditation, breath work, art therapy, emotional freedom technique exercises, acupressure, yoga, healing touch, mindfulness-based stress reduction, journaling, reflexology, and many more. Our goal is to expose your child to as many stress-stopping techniques as possible and to allow them to experience them, then choose their favorites so they're prepared when stress strikes. So Beth's going to talk you through a couple of exercises that we show the kids.
The first exercise we always teach the kids is using their breath to reduce stress. So we call it belly breathing. We tell them to take a big breath through their nose and fill their belly up like a balloon. And then when they let that air out their mouth, it's like that balloon is deflating. Another exercise we teach them is the triple warmer meridian clearing. We talked about meridians earlier. The triple warmer meridian is the number 1 meridian that is activated when you are stressed. So now you're going to watch a video so you can follow along and do it.
Hey, it's Beth from the Simply Successful Kids program. Today I'm going to walk you through how to do the triple warmer. So you're going to start with your fingers on your temples. You're going to take a breath in your nose. Let that breath out. Now you're going to take your fingers, pretend they're pencils and you're tracing. So you're going to trace up and over your ear, down your neck, to your shoulders. And then when you get to your shoulders, you're going to put your fingers in, look like a claw. And they're going to hang on your shoulders like this. You're going to take another deep breath in. And when you let that breath out, you're going to drag it down over your collarbones. So let's try it together. Take that breath in. Take another breath in. Trace over your ears, down your neck. Let that breath out. Put your fingers in claws. Take another breath in. And when you let that breath out, you're going to drag it over your collarbone, shake it off.
If you were attending a live workshop for parents, you'd get to experience a bunch of these different exercises and practice them in class. To make it easy for you, you can download the directions and the video links by going to our website at simplysuccessfulprogram.com. Simply entering your email address and your first name, and you can download your 5 tips exercise sheet and practice those. So what does the Simply Successful Kids program look like when you take it in a live format? It's 6 workshops that help kids understand their body's energy system, how their brain works under stress, how emotions can cause stress. We look at mindfulness and meditation, and then we spend a unit on loving yourself and others. And in workshop number 6, we allow the kids to share all the different experiences that they loved and pick out their favorite tools. So by the time they're done, they actually have a plan for managing their stress. The other thing that we do during those 6 weeks is we have parent resources and bonus courses that we send information home, tells you how to work with your child to enforce these new habits that they're learning and help them get practice. So in a typical workshop, every week we have a calendar, and this is a sample of the calendar. You notice that there's a little icon up there that's called Morning Mind Mastery Exercises. We teach the kids a series of exercises that they start every morning with. The first week begins with that triple warmer, and then we build on that every week. And this little calendar is just designed to help the kids keep track of what they need to do during the week and what they need to practice. So I mentioned parent resources. What comes home on that page is what your child is learning. What's your role in supporting their learning that week? What exercises are they supposed to do? And then some recipes for success, things you can do with your children, art activities if you have time, that kind of thing. And Beth and I are always available by phone, text, and email support to help you through it if you have any questions. So here's a sample of what that parent resource sheet looks like. So if you have email, those will be in your inbox the morning after your child's class. If not, we'll send it home by paper.
So the cost of our workshop is $397. That includes the 6 sessions that your child will have and also a year membership to our website. So you will have access to a lot of many bonuses.
So when your child is done with the 6-week workshop, we also have recordings that they can go back and watch for all 6 of those lessons. So if they get off track, you can get them back on track and help them. The other thing that we offer is a private Facebook group. We do Facebook Live events. Beth and I are co-hosts of the radio show Simply Successful program, where we talk about stress management for the entire lifespan. So everything from babies to the elderly. And those are in a podcast library that are on our website. And you have access to that just because you're a member. So if you have other questions or need to contact us, you can reach me at deb@simplysuccessfulprogram.com or Beth at simplysuccessfulprogram.com. And you can also get lots of tips and cool information on our Facebook page. And the address for that is at Simply Successful Kids. So we're going to end this session just like we do every session with the kids. We tell them that preparing your mind and body for life takes practice. We'll give you the tools, but it's your responsibility to do the work. We would love to help you help your child, and we will share the tools. We'll be there to support you on your journey and do anything that we can to make your child happy, healthy, and successful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.